Good morning, I am so happy to see you. I am Jana, and in today's video, I have some exciting stuff to show you. I made some big projects, and I made a lot of a certain item. And I'm just going to tell you all about my week, so let's get into it. One of the things I've been making a lot of is safety eyes, but I'm going to save those for after I show you the new crochet makes. I'm super excited to show you these makes. These are all new patterns, and I think they came out so well. Some of you might have seen them already on my Instagram. Let's get into the first make. This is completing a previous custom order I had told you guys about. They ordered a blue cat, a yellow lion, and a sage green hippogriff, and I finished the hippogriff. So I didn't make the body actually like sage green. I made the accents sage green, and I was like, oh, I hope they didn't want like the body sage green. So I sent them a picture and was like, hey, this is how it came out. If you want the body sage green, I can make it that way. Just let me know. And she actually really loved the way this came out. So here is the hippogriff. For those that don't know, it's like the head of like a eagle, the body of a horse. The front legs are supposed to be like the eagle legs, and the back legs are horse legs. And it has wings along with a tail. I used this super fluffy yarn for the neck. I used green eyes, gave them the feathers on the head and a little like green tuft there. I think it came out so well. Here are the wings. Look at them. There's the tail. I think it came out so well, and I actually really love it. And I think the only things you had to sew on was the beak, the wings, and the little feather thingies there. That's it. So not a whole lot of sewing. Well, I was expecting it a little bit bigger, but with Premier Parfait Chunky, it can only come out so big, you know what I mean? So I think it came out so well. I'm actually meeting my friend today to give her all of these, and I'm happy I could actually show you before I went because I'm really happy with how this came out, and I absolutely love it. Actually, I forgot, there was a custom order last minute, actually last night, and it was for a Spider-Man spider, so I did make that, whip it up last night. Right now, the eyes are still freshly glued on with E6000, so I gotta wait for those to completely dry, and then I will contact them letting them know that the spider is done. I love this spider. I freehand and hand cut the felt eyes, so it would be nice if I had a Cricut, but I gotta make do with what I have. Okay, now moving on to the new makes. I'm so excited. If y'all don't know who Crochet by Kitten Girl is, I highly recommend you check her out because she is so talented and has some great patterns, and these are free patterns on her website. First one I'm going to show you is her Bulbasaur. Oh my gosh, look at this Bulbasaur. I love it so much. Bulbasaur is a Pokemon, and I freehanded the felt, and I actually sewed them on using a needle and thread. I actually have never ever sewn on felt onto a crochet plushie until I did these because that is her method of doing it, and I wanted to do my best with sewing. The eyes are a little, you know, the eyes are okay. I feel definitely the little patches here I did a lot better on. I was almost afraid to pull too tightly on the thread with the eyes. I don't know why. And then I pulled tighter with the patches, and it really sinks it into the project more. And I think that's the way to go. I just absolutely adore this Bulbasaur and how it came out. This took me a while. Oh, and by the way, I kind of have the head like slightly angled and tilted on there, like he's like looking to the side. I would say that was on purpose, but it was an accident, so I'm like playing it off, you know, like I meant to do that. I love it so much, and it's big. It's a decently sized. If you plan on making this, just know it's a lot of work. It's a lot of crocheting. My hands were definitely tired by the end of these because not only do you have to make all the pieces, the only thing you sew on are, okay, I say only, but you sew on the thighs, you sew on the legs, you sew on the flaps onto the bulb, and then sew the bulb onto the body, then you sew the ears on, and obviously you sew all of the felt pieces on. Surprisingly, you did not sew the front legs on, which was pretty cool. I did like that. This was quite the project. It took me like a day and a half to finish, and I do really love it. I used Premier Parfait Chunky on the body in the color Sea Glass. I felt like that was the best color option, because looking at early Bulbasaur, he was green, and now you look at Bulbasaur and he's more like a blue, so I chose kind of like an in-between color where it's like an in-between of a greenish blue. And then this is Hobie's Honey Bunny, a green color. I can't remember. I don't think they have color names, just like, I don't know, I can't remember. And then I just used whatever colored felt I had on hand. I bought a lot of felt when Joann's was, when they were having their big go away sale. So I couldn't tell you the name of the colors, but I absolutely love the way this Bulbasaur came out. I'm so proud of myself. Definitely one of the bigger projects I've made as far as how much work goes into it, but I really wanted to do a good job. And now I guess I can show you the next one, which is also a pattern by Crochet by Kitten Girl, and it is another Pokemon. It is Charmander. OMG. Look at this Charmander. Just look at him. Once again, I sewed the felt eyes on. This one, let's see. You do have to sew the tail onto the body. You have to sew the arms onto the body, the feet onto the body. You have to sew this patch on, and it goes all the way to the bottom of his tail, or the tip of his tail. I'm trying to think. You do have to sew the head on. I don't think I mentioned that about Bulbasaur. You do have to sew the head on. So once again, a lot of work. A lot of work. I was thinking that the Bulbasaur was going to be less work, but when it comes to having to sew all of the little patches on, I would say they're about the same when it comes to how much work really goes into them. Once again, I absolutely love the way this Charmander came out. I think it's so adorable. The only thing differently I did, aside from her free patterns, is I added nostrils. That's literally the only thing I changed, because they're just perfect. I want to say it basically took the same amount of time for each of these. It took me like a day and a half. I'm really happy with how they came out. I absolutely love it. And they come out to a good size, a really good size. I can't imagine if I used a thicker yarn how big these come out to. So once again, if you haven't, please check out Crochet by Kitten Girl. She's got some really cool stuff, and she's also working on more patterns. I'm actually excited. I'm waiting on her to release her Squirtle patterns. That way I can have all of the starter Pokemon. What I really like is that there's not a huge, like, size difference. They're still around the same size. Nothing crazy. Although I was curious on how they would turn out when it comes to face shaping. I didn't have to shape the face for Bulbasaur because it actually came out pretty good with how his face was. So I didn't use face shaping on him, but I did use face shaping for Charmander. You have to do it to kind of get a little indentation here to put the eyes on. If you didn't, it would be sticking out a lot more. I really like the way it came out. He's got little cheekies here. And I love his little toes on this one. I don't know why. I just really love them. And I was very curious. I thought this was going to have to be sewn on, but it's not. It is actually It's actually crocheted in to the tail. I'm just so proud of myself, you guys. Just look at that. I'm so proud. You can definitely tell it was my first time trying to sew the eyes on the Charmander because they're a little rough. But overall, I couldn't be more happy with how they came out. As soon as I saw these available for free on her website, I was like, I have to. Even though I knew they were going to be a lot of work, I had to. I didn't want to add a mouth or anything. I felt like they were very cutesy, and she made them to be very like chibi cutesy. So the most I wanted to do was add the nostrils, and that was it. As far as price goes, I'm probably going to charge $90 for these. Will they be bought? Probably not. Unless I went to like a Comic-Con or, you know, a place where they actually advertise a bunch of like gaming stuff like that. And usually at Comic-Cons, people say they raise their prices because people that go there pay more. And unfortunately, I don't have anything like that, at least not that I know of near me. anytime soon. So yeah, I feel like $90 is definitely a good price for these as for as much work that went into them. And I feel they came out pretty good, if I do say so myself. They're just perfect. Absolute perfection. Do I want to keep them for myself? Absolutely. But I must refrain. I suppose now I can show you all of these safety eyes I have made. I've made a bunch of 25mm and a couple of 30mm. I had such a good response from everyone on my Palm Street. A lot of people really liked the safety eyes I had on there. I did some safety eye giveaways and actually provided some for purchase, and I sold them all. So I decided I would try more in more colors. I have so many. I have a notebook here of all the color names and what I used. I'm just gonna kind of like flash through them real quick because there's a lot. And I'm going to start with the 30mm. Here we have what I call Galactic Violet. Don't judge me for some of these names, okay? Y'all have seen this one before. This is Cotton Candy Dream. This one is Fiery Gaze. This is Silver Prism. This is Twilight Nebula. This is Deep Sea. This is Minty Dream. Golden Gaze. And this is Sherbert Blink. That was all the 30mm, and now I'll do the 25mm. This is Autumn Sparkle. This is another Twilight Nebula. I really like that one. This is Blush Stardust. This is Champagne Glimmer. This is Evergreen Twilight. Copper Rose. Celestial Opal. Daffodil Dust. Diamond Dust. Strawberry Gold. Blueberry Nova. There's a hint of purple in there. Bubblegum Gleam. Shimmering Sky. And Rosy Radiance. I know that was a lot. I could not stop. So I actually tried a new method with a lot of those. I used nail polish. I don't know why I never thought of using nail polish before. I thought I'd heard of using it a long time ago, but then I don't know why it just left my brain. And then for some reason I was like, oh, super glue and glitter? That must be easier. No, it's not. Sometimes there's the issue of having some air bubbles pop up in the eyes when you use super glue. So I actually was watching Crochet by Kitten Girl and she uses nail polish and I was like, well, I could try. But there's a few ways of doing it. You can use a clear nail polish, pour it into a dish and sprinkle sparkles in there, mix it together and then paint it on an eye. Or you can just get like a fun colored nail polish itself, but you'll have to add, a couple layers to get it to shine through. And also I use the acrylic paints. I use different holographic paints or shimmery paints. And for the most part, it's pretty simple. With some nail polishes, you'll still need to add like a color to the back. So if there's a light gradient of purple, but it's kind of see-through, I'll use a purple color to put on the background of it. And then to top it all off and seal it, I use a UV clear nail polish just to kind of make sure it all stays and there's no issues. Obviously, you're not supposed to just throw them in the wash as with all plushies. You're supposed to like, spot dry. I've just been having so much fun coming up with a bunch of different colors and eyes, and just once I started I couldn't stop, and I have way too many, so I need to sell them and I want to give some away on another Palm Street Live. So I will be going live this Sunday on Palm Street to get rid of all these eyes and hopefully I'll see y'all there to maybe just hang out with ya and have some fun giving away some eyes. So I definitely plan on making more and coming up with new designs and everything. It's definitely a lot more doable with the nail polish. Make sure to get something cheap because it will stain your stuff when it comes to like these paint trays. These are all where I just poured the clear nail polish and poured glitter, mixed them up, and make sure to use a cheap paintbrush because that thing will get hard and stiff, and it's not meant for painting anymore after that. It still can be a little bit messy, but a lot less messy than the super glue. With super glue, I unfortunately had a couple of instances where I ruined some eyes, and it really bummed me out, and after that I stopped making them. And ever since I started using the nail polish again, I haven't had any issues. So yeah, I just thought I'd share all of those with you. It was a lot of colors. It was a lot to go through. And if you have any recommendations on what you think I should make next, let me know. The Autumn Sparkle one, I actually put a couple of different colored glitters together. I put like a champagne color, an orange color, and like a copper color. I mixed it all together, poured the clear nail polish. I was hoping that would come out to a good like fall autumn color, and it really did, and I'm so happy. It's really fun to just experiment with all of that, and I need to get rid of them now. Obviously, I can keep a few for myself, but I also want to have the joy of sending these to people and seeing what is made with them. I think that will be so cool. So yeah, it was a busy week of painting eyes and working on some big projects. For those of you that knew about my husband and his back problems, he's doing a lot better and he's getting back to work now. The house is a lot more quiet with him gone. Oh yeah, I did make something new this week. It was a snake. And I don't remember if I featured that on any of my videos before. I think I made it just before my latest Palm Street Live, so I'll put a picture here. It is of all of the plushies that were sold on my latest Palm Street Live. The crochet snakes came out really good. It was Crochet Grove's pattern. On the live, someone asked if I could do a specific color. They wanted me to get a variegated pink yarn and make a snake for them, so I did. That is already in its new home, so I just have a picture to show you. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else for you. It was a pretty tame week. Like I said, with my husband going back to work, it's been very quiet around here, so I've been able to focus on crochet and all of that a lot more. Once again, please join me on my Palm Street Live this Sunday at 2 o'clock to hang out with me and go over some safety eyes. Maybe I'll have some new ones made by then. We shall see. Or if you have any recommendations on what you want to see me make with some of the eyes, let me know. I'm super excited for when Crochet by Kitten Girl will release her Squirtle pattern so I can have all 3 of them here, and that'll make me so happy. If you haven't yet, please subscribe so you can get notified when I upload next and stay up to date on all of my crochet goodness. I am going to maybe make more eyes. I am obsessed. I have a problem. I'm sure it'll be one of those, like maybe I'll get over it in the next week or so. Maybe not. We'll see. I think it would just be fun to offer more items for other crocheters like myself, you know, because not every other crocheter wants a crochet plushie, you know what I mean? So if I could give them something they could actually use, it's a win in my book. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Bye!